Okay, let's get into this conversation with about PRA. PRA, you told the man to go back to his wife. Didn't you tell him to go back to Shayla? Now you saying he should go back to Shayla, that he shouldn't leave his child. You know what I think this is? I think what it is you trying to sabotage both of these women. You want Anthony for yourself. You want to be the one to save him after all both of these women destroy him. That's what I'm getting from this. Why don't you just admit to that? You up here drinking. You're upset because you're involved in something that has nothing to do with you when you could just as easily tell him to leave. All you gotta do, tell him to leave. Then he has to make a choice about which one he going to. But nope, as long as he got a roof to go to and somewhere to run, he's never gonna make a decision. And you gave him that. Even Dalen came to that realization and Dalen kicked him out. Because Dalen said, I'm not letting this come in my home. I'm not bringing this drama into my home. Even Rolanda cut ties when it came to this situation. And she did. And just like you, she thought that maybe Anthony would realize that neither one of them were good for him and he needed to leave both of them alone. But at the end of the day, his finances are tied between both of these women no matter what. Either way it go, he loses. Whether it be paying child support, he can get custody if he wanted to, especially as unstable as Shayla is. He can always get custody. Not only that, he can get visitation where he can basically have the child dropped off at the house and have somebody else to go, somebody that can go pick the baby up, and either Angelina or Brody can bring the baby to the house and drop him off. He ain't even got to see Shayla. At the end of the day, whether you're a baby mom or whether you're a wife, you're still screwed either way. But if I told y'all based upon the Bible who the wife is, it's not based on that sheet of paper. Shayla would technically, in the eyes of God, be his actual wife. She has his child. And I keep telling y'all, marriage is based upon children. That's why people want so much for people to stay together to raise the kids. But the problem is, in this society, that's not what's going on here. People are having kids, but not raising them. You think raising them is just financially taking care of them? No, how can you raise them when you're at work for 8 hours a day? You're not raising your kid, everybody else is. Daycare, school system, friends, other people that they know that are adults. But you're not raising them. At the end of the day, females think that by having these children, that basically, essentially, it makes the relationship better. No, it don't. It makes it worse because it makes it more financially straddled. Especially if you somebody that's used to being able to buy what you want to and being able to enjoy your life, and now you got a baby and you used to traveling and being out and about a lot. People really need to sit down before you have sex with somebody and say to yourself, do I really want to have sex with this person and end up pregnant? Or do I want to wait until I've done it all, then start dating, and then I have sex with the man I actually want to have a child by? I think y'all need to start looking at who you want your baby daddy to be and when you want that man to be your baby daddy. I think if women actually thought that way, there wouldn't be so many kids running around him. You cannot have random sex like a man can, and man can't either. So y'all need to stop thinking in this mind of a Jezebel, harlot, and succubus, and understand that you can get pregnant. Bottom line is, stop having sex unless you want that man to be your baby daddy. Stop looking at it as the way that prostitution and all of that looks at it, and look at it for what it is. The only time you can have sex and not have to worry about it really is when you can't have kids no more, or you can't have kids at all. Those are the only 2 times you can have sex for fun. You can't have sex for fun if you can get pregnant, or unless he gets a vasectomy, or you have a hysterectomy. That's the only reason and the only way you can have sex and Not have to worry about it. And you can do it just to enjoy it. I don't know why y'all think that you can have sex just to enjoy it, knowing you can get pregnant. And then when you get pregnant, he don't want nothing to do with the baby. He moves on to the next female, gets another female pregnant. He don't want nothing to do with the next baby. I mean, if you look at Mike, Mike's an example of that. So at the end of the day, all it is Piari wants to self-sabotage both of these women. She don't feel bad for either one of them, to be honest. She's just basically playing both sides of the coin. She really just wants both of them to leave him alone and basically realize he's playing both of their faces. Both of them leave him alone, and she's there to save him. Let me explain how that works. Yeah, she gonna tell Shayla that, they should be together. And yes, she gonna basically play Anthony. But what it is, she want both of them women to get together, have a conversation, figure out they both been played. Both of them decide to leave him alone, and she gonna be there to save him. That's what she want. That is the game she's playing. But a lot of y'all don't see that. I see it just as crystal clear because I've seen women do it. I have seen women that have been friends with a man for years do the exact same thing. Oh, she's not good enough for you. Oh, she ain't the person you should be with. Yeah, I've seen it. It happens all the time. So at the end of the day, yeah, it happens. Because if Piara just comes out and tells how she feel about him, that wouldn't work. But if she can get both of these women to confront each other and then they get to talking and then they figure out they both been played, both of them will leave him alone. And yes, he will lose almost everything. But she thinks she gonna come in and she gonna help him build. That's what that is. And that's what that's about, unfortunately. So at the end of the day, like I said, I'm not really surprised about what PR is doing. Not at all. Why would I be surprised? Nothing surprises me. And that's what I'm saying. Nothing surprises me when it comes to what people are willing to do to get what they want. If you look at Dawn and Natasha, it's the same thing. She's willing to disrespect Ro just to get Natasha away from Ro. She's going to do the same thing when it comes to Kendrick. She's going to do the same thing when it comes to Charles. She wants Natasha to fall because she wants to say, see, you're not the perfect sister. I just proved that you're not as perfect as you claim. Honey, I'm telling you, the jealousy and envy that people have and what people are willing to do to get what they want is what makes it negative. It's not nothing wrong with wanting something, and it ain't nothing wrong with working hard to get it. But when you doing things based on the demonic way, the negative way of doing it, it ain't going to end well for you. I promise you it won't. So at the end of the day, I would suggest that a lot of people start understanding that doing things a negative way isn't the way to go about it. Because it ain't going to end well for you. It just ain't. So I would just recommend that y'all understand that, at the end of the day, Piari wants Anthony. And she will do anything to get that man. Does it make it right? No. But until she kick him out and tell him, look, I don't want nothing to do with this, until she make him realize that, I don't want no parts of this and you need to leave, just tell him. But you're not going to tell him because, like I said, you want him there. So, and then the fact she been drinking, that's what I'm saying. The truth comes out when you drink. I'm just waiting for her to get drunk to the point she tries to seduce him, and then that's when we're really going to have action. Because now he's got a third woman that actually now is interested in him, and he might leave both of them for her. Who knows? But in the end, we'll see. I digress. We have to sit back and see how it play out. So, I'm about to go to the dentist in about 2 hours, or about an hour, and be miserable after they pulled his tooth. What is the root that got to be pulled out? So, I'm going to be miserable. With that being said, y'all may not see me for a couple days. Bye, y'all. And I agree with him when he told PRA somebody was going to be hurt. There's no way that he could have came to Shayla and said it in a way that she wasn't going to be hurt. There's no way that he could have talked to Amber and it wouldn't have went the way it did. We saw what Amber went through. Either way it go, somebody going to get hurt. And the bottom line is, it is Shayla that's hurt.